heard about, you know, two absolutely amazing, very interesting events that have really caught my attention. And the first one being GL Live. I didn't know who X. I didn't know X. Where does the X go? Is it GLX Live or GL Live X?
X standing for 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Tell us all about this. What is this? I mean, firstly, I have to say, wow. There's so many, some great guys on this flyer.
Quite a few.
There's loads of ladies. There's loads of men. There's loads of, are you looking at me like that for? Okay.
It's a gospel event.
Yeah, and we are human. Okay, right, a gospel event. We as women, it's a gospel event. We don't like men, not. Okay, right, tell us about this event.
Okay, so basically it's an urban gospel event, to be specific. So we've got 3 artists, all 3 are rappers from the US, New York area.
Okay.
And up to 8 supporting acts from around the UK. The likes of David B from Manchester, Possible P, who is an upcoming artist, making many waves in the UK at the moment. Guys that have been in it for a while, like Presha J, Leke, and 2 new guys that we feel as we're helping introduce them to the scene. A guy called Roper, who's from Birmingham, and another guy called Theon, who's from London.
Okay, Adrian. Okay, listen, you have to break this all down.
Go for it.
Okay,
Go for it.
because my gospel is like Marvin Sapp.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
actually now, not Lady Saw, Marion Hall.
Okay.
Minister
Okay.
Marion Hall.
Yeah.
In fact, I was trying to select some music for today for her, and I kept drifting to With the Heels On, so it's not the right one. Okay. Listen, I don't know what I'm on today. I feel a bit hot.
She needs deliverance. Pray now. Feel hands.
No. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Pastor Jackson. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, just break it down for me. So this is urban gospel.
So yeah, you've got your Marvin Sapps and your Fred Hammonds that everybody, or a lot of people will know within the gospel. But your urban artists, so your urban gospel is more hip hop, rap, R&B, soul, stuff like that. So it's got a little bit more of a contemporary flavour to it, I guess. Less traditional, a lot less traditional, should I say?
Okay.
But the message is the same. It just reaches a different type of audience, I guess.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I was watching, scrolling through Facebook last week or sometime this week, and there was a video on with some young people dancing and moving to some real urban contemporary music, and the actual status that somebody had written was, did Jesus die for this? Something like that. So I'd like you to help me unpick that, because I mean, I watched it and I thought, actually, this is people expressing in the music and the genres of today. And you know, I had a conversation with someone in my house about, you know, well, hymns came from a certain era when a certain type of music.
Of course.
So there's a lot of debate and questioning about bringing in contemporary music into gospel. Can you kind of help people with that, especially maybe is it older people? I don't know, what is it that question this? But I know that people do question this.
Yeah, of course.
I think for myself, it's like a case of it's a will that keeps on going round generation after generation, and I think that if we want to go to hymns, let's go back 100 years ago, like to Fanny Crosby when she wrote to hymns. She was actually banned from churches as well because the music was relevant for the time. Going to a bit more recent times, for the guys who were probably in the 50s and 60s who were in church or still in church now, they remember an artist called Andrea Crouch, and I know that he got people weren't allowed to go to see Andrea Crouch because he was really contemporary, and it was on that time.
You've got ladies nodding.
Yeah. Hopefully not showing my age here, but I'm still 21 now. And I think that and so if you listen to Andrea Crouch in his, I got his 76 live album. And when you listen to the styles, there's not much difference between that and the Commodores and a lot of the artists at the time. And it was relevant to a generation. But now we sing his songs like it's a hymn in church, you know, and whatsoever. So that same song has that couldn't really get across back in the day, which is relevant now. And it's going to be the same thing for hip hop and rap, because when I first started doing these events, G.R. Live, 7-8 years ago, it was a crazy idea to do an event with loads of rappers on it. It was like, in gospel, it's like, what are you doing? But yet, over 1,000 young people came out to the event.
So Roger, you used to do GL Live.
Yeah.
Okay. So the X now, is this 10 years on? Or what's the X about?
The X is,
It's
well,
10th edition.
in a funny way, it's a 10th edition, but in a way it's not. Okay, so let me explain it. So we started doing, Roger started doing GL Live back in, give it a year again?
Probably around about 2009.
2009, that's about right. I got involved about 2 years later.
Okay.
And we've worked on so many from there.
And what are your backgrounds?
We've worked together through. Roger was had a company, printing company. I came through as a young designer.
Okay.
Roger taught me quite a few things. I've taken it on and become better than Roger. I was teasing about that.
They say though, isn't it?
The best teacher.
Of course.
Of course.
Perfect example.
Cool.
That's what you intended to do, wasn't it?
Perfect example.
Almost.
So we kind of we got to know each other through that. But then obviously we found a common interest in terms of events, music. Our heart for young people, bringing through young people within the industry, media, just everything basically. So the last GL Live event that we did was about 3 years ago, maybe longer.
Okay.
And that was GL Live number
about 4
years
years ago.
Yeah.
Quite.
And that was GL Live 8.
So when you say the industry, what do you mean? What's the industry?
The industry, industry is probably not the best term, probably not the best technical term. It's more of a scene, because in the industry, obviously, you know, there's a profit, there's a, you know what I mean, there's money involved really. And with the gospel scene in the UK, that's not really the case. It's, you know, there's not really money to be made or whatever else.
So what is the purpose of gospel?
The purpose for us, gospel, you're asking some good questions, you know. Is, like I said earlier, is to give a different message to what's out there at the moment. You know, we've got the internet, social media, TV, radio, everything, where everything's heightened now. Nothing. No one's scared to say or do anything anymore. So you're seeing things on TV that, you know, I never saw on TV, you know, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or whatever, and everything's on there. Daytime,
acceptable.
it's not, you know, the watershed. There's no such thing as watershed, more or less. You know what I mean? You know, I've got a child, and she's 6, and certain things that she sees on the soaps at, like, you know, 6 o'clock, I'm like, even I can't watch them. Too tough. So it's just about, you know, giving an alternative message.
When you say alternative message.
So an alternative message of Christ, another way, another positive message for people to follow. You know, so it's up to them whether they take it or leave it.
Okay, so this is giving the masses, giving people
trying to reach
an alternative message
than
what we're now seeing across all media.
Of course.
I think as well, there's a holistic message as well when it comes to gospel. I think sometimes we can tunnel gospel switch off and says, oh, they're gonna talk about this Jesus, yeah. But sometimes, you know what, we need to have hope in life, you know. And I think that a lot of negative music, which you find these days is all about like a negative outcome. My dad's not here, my this, my that, you know what I mean, what I'm gonna do you over, I got to, you know. It's not about that. It's also bringing across a message of hope, and the Bible is holistic, so it deals with positive way of handling money, positive way of approaching relationships, you know, how to opposite, you know, if we listen to music, it's very negative towards the opposite sex from a male perspective. And I think that and I'm sick and tired of having that. I've got 2 sons, and I don't want to treat women like how to treat them in the tracks that I'm hearing, you know. And I'm seeing tracks young ladies are dancing up to, and I'm thinking, do you know what these lyrics are about? And it's about bringing something which is more positive, the total opposite side of the spectrum to that. So it's not just about Jesus, it's about a better way of living.
I mean, another question that I have is that sometimes there'll be songs that are songs that were about loving your woman and loving your man and all this, and then the lyrics get changed and it's about Jesus loving you and loving Christ. What are your thoughts around that? Because surely, subliminally...
Lazy, that's my fault.
Because I know I've listened to songs where I'm thinking it's a love song, man to woman, and then, or woman to man, and then I listen and it's and then the words have been changed, and it's about Christ. So, I don't know, what are your thoughts around that? Are there kind of some mixed messages going on?
Yeah. Like Roger said, I think there's a bit of laziness in it, to a point.
Or is it another strategy to try I don't know.
It can be another strategy, but I think in our experience, it's something that we talk about quite often as well, actually. In our experience, we've seen it as, for example, there may be a popular song, someone decides to change the lyrics to it to make it sound gospel. And the second that track comes on, everyone's thinking about the popular original song.
That's right.
For me, that you've just destroyed the whole point of you changing the lyrics now. So that's how I see it. Me personally, you know, God is the creator of music. God is the creator of all things. So, you know, if you have a message, and to me, if you're delivering a message through music, your source is Christ or the Bible. So it should have an original. There should always be something original in it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
I'm going to play a track that I love. He's John Legend.
Okay,
Rory. Cool. I love this track. So I'm going to play it.
It will be but it's an inspiration.
Okay. Wow, I love that track. Of John Legend and Common. But the question I have is that gospel?
No. I would say no. I think gospel is. I think we need to realize that there's a lot of people.
They spoke about Christ.
They say glory. They say glory.
Something about go on.
The glory is about the glory and the freedom of a black man. You know, and I think that, you know, we have to realize that, you know what, still here, freedom in a Christian life is not about this life, it's about the life to come. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Bible talks about death being gain. You know, it's not talking about this life, and I think sometimes we get mixed up with success in this life, even though it's great. We want to be peed up in this life, everyone, you know. And I think that it's great to be inspirational like this, you know, like even like tracks by Kanye West, Jesus Walks. Is it really talking about Jesus, you know? So it's a case of understanding the message, but the main thing with gospel music for me passionately over the years is that the gospel that is not spoken, you know. And I think that, you know, gospel from deep down and actually a lifestyle is a more powerful message than actually just saying it across the words. There's no point saying about glory going to heaven when your life doesn't represent that. That's what throws people off. That's why you got TVs and media set up just to catch off any artist, and they spend the whole time gossiping about artists, because if they cheat on the wife, if they do this, they're looking for, okay, you meant to live a certain moralistic lifestyle, you know. So as Christians, we portray a message that we have to live to. And then people say, oh, it's elitist, it's not fair, but the reality shows it's harsh, but you know, we meant to
Who's it harsh? 2, 4? Is it harsh?
People say it's harsh to have I'm not saying a perfect life, but a life which is trying to attain to the message that you bring across. But for me, it's if I say something, and you know when you're growing up and your dad tells you to do something and he doesn't, and he does it. You think he's a hypocrite? You're like, hold on a second, you can't tell me that she's something.
My daughter does that to me.
Okay, yeah.
I'll tell her about the plate and the cup in the bedroom.
And then
the other day, but I was writing my book, and she come in the room and she says, "Mum,
Play on your cup.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah. No, it's a classic when my dad used to drink out the carton. You can't drink out the carton.
No,
My dad would come in it.
but Daddy can.
Daddy can. So you're thinking, that's hypocritical. So it's a case of for ourselves as well. It's, if we're going to say something, it's going to be hypocritical for me not to try to at least achieve that lifestyle.
Okay.
And it actually blocks the message. So straight away, I tell my dad, I'm doing it myself now, because I'm like, as soon as I get my house now, I'm like, it's with the carton, because because my dad does it.
And you're the dad thing.
Yeah. So I'm in charge now, so I'm going to do it. So I'll go again. I'll do what he said not to do. So I think the key thing as well for coming across the gospel message is to walk the walk and talk the talk. Yeah. That's how to do it, man.
Yeah. Okay. GL
Live X. Yeah.
All right, I've got it. When is it happening?
So that's on the 16th of April, next week, Saturday.
Saturday.
Doors open at 6:30 and it's at the Drum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, the drum? What's happening with the drum?
Wow.
No comment.
I don't know much, but hopefully we just praying that, I think for the community in Birmingham, we need a drum, and there's no doubt about it. And it's frustrating, and I think that as a community, have we supported the drum enough? That's another big question.
Somebody said that to me yesterday. I
one.
was saying the drum, and then he said to me, "Well, how often do you go to the drum?"
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, "Well, actually, I've been there once."
Exactly.
This 6 months. So yeah.
I mean, for me, I think the one thing that the Drum has done very well is the number of events that happens. There's always I think it's a 3-month calendar basically of what they're doing, and it's never empty.
Yeah.
There's always more than enough things that are happening.
Yeah.
So my biggest question to everyone would be, when they're hearing the news about it closing and stuff like that, and everyone's shocked and want to have voiced their little opinions and whatever else. I'm like, okay, what have you done to support the Drum? What have you done to support your fellow black, businesses and stuff like that, and the events that they're putting on? You can't really be surprised now that.
I mean, I know for myself that I had definitely recently made inquiries because I was planning to start having my events at the Drum. So it's although I'd not utilised the Drum that much before, that was in my plan, and now it's like, okay, where's that plan?
Where can you go? And I think that's a major thing, and I believe it will stay open. I really do believe that it's people that are coming because there's nowhere else for us to go.
I think there will be some. I think my thinking is that it's the organisation that have been running it that's folding, but then in another form,
hopefully,
something will be put together. Just moving over to Kembe and Joel, just any comments on what's happening with the Drum, really? Any sort of comment from yourselves, Joel Campbell and Kembe Clark?
Well, I have no particular view on it, other than I hope it stays open. And I take on board what the brother said. It's important for us as communities. We're very reactive, and not very forward thinking. So it's all very good, everybody jumping up now and saying how awful it is. But yes, we need to be supporting it and looking at ways that we can actually make sure that once it does stay open, which we're hoping it will, that we keep it as a vibrant place where the arts can be represented in Birmingham.
My understanding really is that the organisation, like you said, Marcia, that is running the Drum, go. However, the essence of the Drum, all it stands for, will actually continue. But it's really important for us to get behind the consultation process.
Yes, correct.
And take responsibility for ensuring that it continues, because that's in our gift.
That's fantastic.
And I just want to pose out there to everyone, it's like, even though I know we're bringing over American acts to the Drum, but we have to look at how much we've taken and spending our money outside the community, because let's be real, a Beyonce comes over and a Kanye West comes over and we spend off the big money.
on that point, we're just going to go into the news, and then we'll pick it up after the news. Okay. Back to On the Couch with Marcia Spence, the show where we talk about real issues with real people. This afternoon, I've got On the Couch with me. I've got, power packed, and it's even filling up even more because my daughter's finished eating. Portia, welcome. Okay, we've got Roger Moore. I was thinking of, sorry, you know what people are going to say.
Listen, I'm immune to it, man. No way. It's the Saints. Hopefully, I prefer that one.
And Adrian Howe, Kemba Clark, John Campbell, and Portia Faria. Okay, we're talking about events that are coming up, but Roger, we were just speaking about the fact that people at times don't support their local events and artists. What was the point that you were going to make?
Yeah, this is a transparent thing, whether you're doing a Christian event or non-Christian event. And what I find is that, you know, if a outside promoter is doing an event with a major US act like a Beyonce and whatsoever, it's a case of people find a £75 per ticket, you know, for that, to turn over money that doesn't at all go into our community. Beyonce does not invest nothing into Birmingham. She takes out to Birmingham. And no offense, great artists and so on, yeah. But when you have local talent, the schools and infrastructures that we need to support people in the arts, and that's finding a £10, you know what I mean, and supporting them. Just going to the events.
Just 1 minute. We're just gonna get the GL Live X.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And that's happening next weekend.
Yeah.
The passion. Why are you doing it? What's the reason? Why is this going to be the event to go? And I've already heard from you. You've sold loads of tickets already, so it's going to be amazing. Tell us more.
I think for me, it's a case of why is it going to be good. I think you can't argue when you've got, like, what I find is that you've got 3 American acts coming from New York, and it's not really about, you know, the big money thing for them. It's really a passion in trying to touch people's hearts. You know, one of them works with young people in schools in Harlem, you know, where there's shootings happening every single day. His name is Richard Dauphin. Okay. He works with young people. Another guy utilizes music in New York in terms of inspiring young people as well, and these guys are actively involved with working with young people, so they're coming over here with a passion, not just about, you know, we're gonna come here, increase our music and whatever, but it's also about bringing across a positive message, and that's what we're about with GL as well. You know, it's a main thing is inspiring young people. A lot of people are feeling down, depressed, recession, and the whole thing's focused around, you know, what is success.
And GL stands for Gospel Link?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Right. So it's a great, for me, it's just really inspiring a new generation, but also for people to come away from an event and actually be smiling, actually want to do something positive, be uplifted, you know.
So what will people come away wanting to do, you think?
Me personally, is to actually look inside of them and see what they can do to bring across their creative skills, because we run a company which is about creativity, and it's not just about the guys on stage as well. We have a team of young people which actually put these events on as well, so it's not just about American artists, it's about young people in the local area utilising their business skills, utilising their customer care skills, utilising elements which are not.
So what do you do? Do you train and develop people, or you actually, you do?
Yeah, we do. We work with young people over a period of time where we put on these projects, and it's with a team of about 20 to 30 young people to put these events on. So they'll be doing camera work, they'll be doing recording elements on a day as well, and they will literally run the sound itself at the drum. They literally put their hands up and leave us to it, because our young people that we've trained up over time sound engineering literally run the sound themselves. So for us, it's really a case of, it's bias, you know, and it's, this event's not just by people just coming into town. These are by young people, and we need to support them, not only because it's at the drum, but at the same time it's just inspiring our young people to carry on doing this and being creative.
So where do we get tickets?
Tickets from the drum box office. You know, you just put a drum online, you go straight to their website.
Okay, and tickets are £10?
Just £10 for over, how many artists? There's about 12, 13 artists on the night. So
what time does it start?
It starts 6:30, doors open, and don't worry, we'll be kicking off on time. We've got a lot of artists to get through, so so don't come in thinking.
How long does it going on for?
It'll be going on. It's gonna be literally up to about a 3-hour showcase.
Oh wow, fantastic!
So it's gonna be.
You're excited?
Yeah, I am actually.
You're excited.
Yeah. It's good.
You got a lot of work to do. Are you going to be doing a lot of work on the night yourselves?
We good teamwork, innit?
Yeah.
I mean, got great teamwork.
Over time, kind of slightly going back to the little history that we were talking about before as well. Because what we've done in the past is brought over artists For those that know gospel music, the likes of Leke, who's like Grammy Award winning artist now. Before he was well known, Manny Music, another one. Before he was well known, was someone that we brought over. But it became difficult to bring people over, you know, because of funding and costs and stuff like that. So we eventually decided that in that space of time, we had developed quite a few people that had been with us for a long time and understood a lot of things and stuff like that, and decided to take a risk and put our own event on, all with our own people, our own staff, our own artists, everything like that, and it worked out, you know, perfectly, basically. So as Roger said, bringing these Americans over, it has been actually a process through relationship that we've had with another guy over in America.
So it sounds like also you are really good at getting some of the best artists, or at least facilitating some of the people that then become really, really successful as they move forward.
Yeah, I mean, over time that's been the history of that's what's happened, really. Yeah,
so what you're really saying is this is a really top.
Yeah, no, it's top. Yeah, it is.
I mean, one thing we pride ourselves on in when we're putting on our shows is that it's not just another gospel concert at a church. It's a professional show. You know, I mean, it's a professional show with the music, the live band, the lighting, the sound, everything, camera work, everything's there, basically.
Fantastic.